Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling. And man, I really appreciate you guys checking out the video and making some time out of your day to watch it. I know we're all busy out here, so a lot of YouTube channels to watch, so thanks for watching Intuitive Angling. Guys, today we're going to be talking about, I'm going to give you a refresher course, give you guys some tips and advice on the 3-inch Megabass dark sleeper here. Now, if you guys saw the thumbnail, that was the exact same color. It was this color of 3-inch Megabass dark sleeper after 2 trips at Table Rock Lake. The bass literally chewed that thing in half. It was like unbelievable how many fish I caught on the thing. And I don't know if I've ever had a bait like that, but that was probably, God, I'm gonna guess 60, 70 fish before it actually did that. So pretty good at it, pretty good out of one soft plastic lure there with that. So anyway, this is probably my favorite time of year to fish it, so I'm going to give you guys some good advice. I think you guys could really take advantage of it and catch a lot of fish on the thing. So real quick, guys, just wanted to give you the weekly reminder about we have our summer Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns out on the website. I'll put the Fish the Moment lake map breakdown link in the description here if you guys want to check it out. These are maps I build myself to give you 40 good GPS waypoints on all the big lakes across the country, tips and advice on how to fish those spots. The instructions on how to download them straight to your fish finder, where you can duplicate these areas in other places on the lake. And also, if the lake you fish is not on our website, you can book a virtual lesson with me. We can go over any lake in the country. I don't care if it's 100 acres or 100,000. So I'll put all those links in the description. Much appreciated. Okay guys, here it is. We've talked about it before. This is the 3-inch dark sleeper. This is the Haze model, guys. This is my favorite color, by the way, and that is that one you saw chewed up there. This was the original size when they first came out several years ago. Then they made 2 more different sizes, a bigger one and a smaller one. I use those too. But guys, this is my favorite one, the 3-inch Megabass dark sleeper. And by the way, Baitworks in Springfield's got a really big selection of these. I'll put the Baitworks dark sleeper link in the description if you guys want to get you a few and try it after the video. But anyway, July is when I first got the dark sleepers a couple of years ago. July was the first month I got them in, and I took them down to Table Rock, and it was just unbelievable how many fish I caught on. I really didn't know how good it would be. That's just when I got them. So you know, when I got down there and started experimenting with them, that's when I figured out how awesome this thing was. But when I first started out that day, it was sort of a learning curve for me, because when I first started out, I was fishing it like a swim bait, because the thing looks just like a swim bait, but you don't fish it like a swim bait. Eventually I figured out that since this thing is keel weighted on the bottom, it's got depending upon the weight size you get, there's a flat keel weight on the bottom. And these things are designed to stand up on the bottom just like that. So you fish it just like you would a shaky head or a jig or a Texas rig. I don't fish it for suspended fish. I fish it on the bottom. And in this particular situation at Table Rock, I was throwing it out there and I was just working along the bottom like a jig, you know, just hopping it off the bottom. But the water was pretty clear and it was pretty hot. So I wanted to try to create more of a reaction strike, so I started, you know, really lifting the jig farther off the bottom, and I started almost pumping it. And guys, that's when they started slamming it, and that is what I have found to be the key in the summer months to catch them on the dark sleeper. Is you throw it out there, let it hit the bottom. Normally I'm fishing, you know, banks, points, whatever, it didn't really matter. Let it hit the bottom, and then just snap it off the bottom like that. Snap it off the bottom. And probably, I'm going to say 90% of the time, when you snap it like that and you pull up on it, they're there, and you just reel and start reeling in. The other 10% of the time is when you pop it up and the bait's falling back down. You'll just see your line twitch like that, and then they got it. That's probably my favorite way to see it, is when that line twitches. But the conditions, it works in a pretty wide range of conditions. I'm going to say that the water visibility is your most critical element. The thumbnail that you see here where that dark sleeper is all chewed up, that was at Table Rock Lake, and that was on a part of the lake that probably had, I'm going to guess, probably about 5 foot of visibility that day I caught them on there. So I have found that, you know, it works better in clear water. Probably the most off-colored water I've caught them in has been probably 3 foot of visibility. So I like at least 3 foot of visibility then, and up towards 20 foot, it doesn't really make any difference as far as there's no limit to how clear it gets. Sunlight conditions don't really matter. I mean, I've caught them on rainy, cloudy days. I've caught them on sunny days. That day when I ripped them on, the one you saw on the thumbnail, it was just a partly cloudy day. The air temperature was probably in the low 80s. I didn't get out there. It was almost 10 o'clock in the morning, so it wasn't like an early bite. And most of those fish were on, you know, secondary and main lake points with that 5 foot of clarity. And the fish were shallower than what you thought. They're probably in 5 to 10 foot of water, although I have caught them quite a bit deeper. So points are my favorite areas to fish it by far, but I also have done really good fishing it on steep, bluffy type banks, you know, banks that drop straight off, riprap type banks that drop straight off. I'll just cast it to the bank, and again, I'll just work it down that drop off just like a jig. And this little tail, when you know, you got a good wiggling tail on there, just, it's like a little compact jig. And here's the hook deal. It's in the dorsal fin here. You can see it like that. It's got a good stiff small hook in there. I would recommend a couple of different tips on this thing. I would recommend is taking a pair of pliers and open that hook up just a hair. And then another thing I like to do, if it's not real snaggy, I'll take a pair of scissors and I'll trim off like a 1/16 of an inch above the dorsal fin here. Exposes that hook a little bit more there. But don't be fooled by the copies. There's a lot of companies that have copied this thing, but the components and everything that go into the original Dark Sleeper are second to none with that. Colors, they've got a wide range of colors there at Baitworks. Again, this is my favorite. This is called the Haze. They've got a combination of some shad patterns like this and some different crawdad patterns, and they've also got some brighter chartreuses. So really just, I think color is more of a confidence factor, but this is been the one I've caught the most fish on. Now the setup on it, guys, a couple different setups that I use. This is the 3-inch size. If I'm using the 2.4-inch size, I'll fish it on a spinning rod with 6-pound test Seaguar and VizX line. I found it, you know, that's a little bait. It weighs 1/4 of an ounce, and I feel like I can get a lot better feel with that. I'll fish it on that Megabass whipstake spinning rod. Same deal, making long casts out there, popping it off the bottom. But if I'm fishing the 3 or the 3.5-inch size, I'm usually using that Megabass Perfect Pitch rod, which is a 7-foot 2-inch rod. Usually got 12-pound test Seaguar and VizX fluorocarbon line, or 10 to 12-pound test. And the same thing, snapping it off the bottom, you know, with that setup there. But anyway, guys, give it a try. This thing, it'll catch them all year long, but there's something about this thing generating strikes in the summer in those clear water environments when nothing else will. I know those days that I caught them on the one that has the thumbnail out there, I talked to several of my buddies that guide on the lake, and they were pretty much struggling fishing shaky heads and drop shots and that type of stuff. So this Dark Sleeper definitely would create a reaction strike that triggers those hot water fish. But so anyway, guys, Baitworks link in the description for the Dark Sleepers. Get the 3-inch size starting out, and I think it's going to catch you some good ones. We'll see y'all later.